Impact Interview is sponsored by the Pocono Mountains, where small-town charm meets big adventures. Book your trip today by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
Well, welcome back to Nittany Game Week, our Impact Interview. Well, it's not really an interview at all. It's really a conversation with an old friend, Steve Jones, the voice of the Nittany Lions football and men's basketball teams. And, of course, he hosts the Steve Jones Show, which covers all sports nationally and airs both on stations in Pennsylvania and also on the web. Steve Jones, when you heard you're going to talk to me, I know you were excited, but guess what? It's a bonus. You got Tom and Jay here as well.
The gang is all back together again. Let's have some fun.
We are indeed. All right, so we're gonna start here. They've been to the Rose Bowl, the Fiesta, the Cotton, the Sugar, the Orange. You've seen a bunch of them as you go of Penn State's wins in those games. Which one sticks out to you maybe the most, or one or two? Give us the ones that really jump out to you.
The ones that jump out to me would be the Orange Bowl game in 2005. These are the games I've done in broadcast. Obviously, the 86 Fiesta Bowl and the 82, 83 Sugar Bowl, the coup de grace, they're national champions. But the games I've done, the Fiesta Bowl, the Orange Bowl, which went triple overtime, and Joe was on the field after the game accepting the trophy and said it's past his bedtime. And I thought to myself, it's past everybody's bedtime, which was phenomenal because Michael Robinson made some great plays in that game, and there were great catches, and I mean everything. Ethan Kilmer made a phenomenal catch in the end zone. It was an incredible night. And then last year's Rose Bowl game, there's something about being at the Rose Bowl, and Jay knows, you go out, and Scrap, you go out there in the Rose Bowl and you look around and you see the San Gabriels and you think of all the games that you watched on TV, and now you get a chance to broadcast the game. And then suddenly you're sitting there and you're looking around, and Penn State has a chance to win the Rose Bowl. And with 9 minutes to go, I knew they were going to win the game. And that's a fun feeling down the stretch of a game like that in a setting like that, because it is a setting that Hollywood cannot duplicate.
So let's shift gears for a second before we get back to football and talk a little quick basketball. Now that football's winding down, great season. You're getting started in basketball. So Mike Rhodes went Urban Meyer on Ohio State, down 18, comes back, wins the game. And this is a team, a couple plays, really is just a couple of buckets from being 2-0 in the Big Ten. Right. What should excite Penn State fans right now, and what might keep them up at night as you look to the rest of the year?
Well, the fact is they're finally showing signs of coming together as a team. That's the big part that should excite everybody. And the part that should also have them have pause about what's going on is that they're still coming together as a team. I mean, it's pro and con when it comes to that, because you have 10 new players on the team. It's not the way you typically build a team. It's the only choice Mike had to build it. But they needed to get their better players to play like they're better players. And so Zach Hicks stepped up, and he had 11 points, and he had 3 trays. Ace Baldwin hit a 3 right when they needed it to give them the lead 79-76. Kanye Clary had a big night from the field, made some acrobatic plays, which was huge. And they were able to get Leo O'Boyle to go out and score 15. And DeMarco Dunn came off the bench with a career-high 16. So finally, their better players collectively started playing like they're better players. And I think that made a big difference. And that's where people should have hope, seeing a team come together, because some of the players have been slumping, not quite know how to work together. And now they come through with this stretch. They outscored Ohio State 46-25 in the final 15-31. And it's a big relief for them to be 1-1 right now, because the way the schedule is set up in the Big Ten, you play those 2 games in December. You don't want to go for 3.5 weeks 0-2, which is what, for example, Michigan State's going through.
Hey, Steve, tough question for you here. National championship game on the line, 1 drive to go. You can pick any Penn State quarterback to lead that drive. Who you got?
Kerry Collins, because I've seen him do it before. I mean, you always got to sit back and say, okay, who have I seen it do in the clutch? And there have been a lot of guys along the way that have been able to get it done in the clutch. If you've seen it, got it done in the clutch. Huff Nagel did. Todd Blackledge obviously did. But, when you think back on that Illinois game, which was so perfectly crafted at the end, where Penn State was able to go down the field in the clutch and make plays when they had to, because Joe had said all season long, I won't really know a complete look at this football team until I see how they handle adversity. And on that day at Illinois and Champaign, they faced adversity, and they were able in the clutch to get it done. And that's that kind of 96-yard championship drive that has a DNA to it that's different.
Always a treat to talk and reminisce with Steve. He's a true pro, I tell you, every single time. We're going to step aside for the TV show to take a break. We will continue our interview, so if you want to see the entire conversation with the voice of the Nittany Lions, Steve Jones, make sure you go to NittanyGameWeek.com for the entire interview along with other web-exclusive content.